Was Bloody Mary really a monster, or was she broken by her past? The name Bloody Mary conjures a chilling image. It speaks of a vengeful spirit, a monstrous entity lurking in the shadows, summoned by a whispered incantation in a darkened room. For generations, this legend has haunted our sleepovers and dared us to face our fears in the mirror. But what if the true horror isn't the legend itself, but the tragic reality behind it? What if the figure we've demonized was not a monster, but a woman profoundly broken by her past? Tonight, we challenge the popular perception of a simple villain. We delve into the life of Mary Thule, Queen of England, a figure often reduced to a terrifying myth. We will consider her not as a supernatural fiend, but as a deeply human, deeply tragic figure. Our focus will be on the relentless forces that shaped her life. We will explore the betrayals, the traumas, and the relentless pressures that molded her into the queen history remembers. This is the portrait of a woman wounded by a world that consistently failed her. Mary's early life was a relentless series of profound instabilities. From her earliest memories, she witnessed the brutal dismantling of her family. Her mother, Catherine of Aragon, was a queen, then a discarded wife. Catherine was divorced and banished, cast aside by her own father, King Henry VIII. This act of royal will shattered Mary's world and her sense of security. It was a betrayal that would echo through her entire existence. Mary herself was stripped of her royal title, declared illegitimate. She was no longer a princess, but a lady, a bastard in the eyes of the law. This public humiliation was a constant, gnawing pain. She was even forced into servitude, compelled to attend to her baby half-sister, Elizabeth. Imagine the indignity, the constant reminder of her fallen status. Her life became a cycle of degradation. Every day brought new humiliation, new slights. Her very existence was a political pawn, a bargaining chip in her father's ruthless pursuit of a male heir. She was a child, yet bore the weight of a kingdom's shifting loyalties. Her life was constantly threatened, her safety precarious. She was told she must renounce her mother's marriage, declare it invalid, or face dire consequences. This was a demand that tore at her conscience and her loyalty. This early trauma laid a deep, unyielding groundwork. It fostered a bitterness that would fester and an anger that would eventually erupt. She was a child steeped in the poison of political maneuvering. Beyond the emotional scars, Mary also suffered physical pain. She battled undiagnosed endometriosis, a condition that caused chronic agony. Her body, like her life, was a source of constant suffering. She also grappled with chronic depression, a heavy cloak that settled over her spirit. The weight of her circumstances, combined with her physical ailments, created a profound and lasting despair. Her youth was not one of privilege, but of profound and enduring hardship. Mary finally ascended to the throne at the age of 37. It was a long, arduous journey, marked by struggle and perseverance. She had survived, against all odds, to claim her birthright. Upon her ascension, she was driven by a singular, fervent purpose. She sought to restore the Catholic faith to England. This was the faith of her mother, the faith that had been brutally dismantled by her own family. Her actions to achieve this restoration were swift and uncompromising. She believed she was doing God's work, correcting the heresies that had taken root in her kingdom. Her conviction was absolute. These actions included the burning of hundreds of Protestants at the stake. These executions were public, brutal, and designed to send a clear message. They were meant to purge England of what she saw as religious corruption. It was these horrific acts that earned her the infamous nickname. She became known as Bloody Mary, a moniker that has echoed through centuries. It is a name synonymous with cruelty and religious fanaticism. But we must question whether her actions stem from an inherent, monstrous evil. Was she simply a sadist, delighting in the suffering of others? Or was there a deeper, more complex motivation at play? Could her brutal reign be a direct consequence of her traumatic past? Was her fervent Catholicism a desperate clinging to the only stability she had ever known? Was her cruelty a twisted manifestation of her own profound pain and betrayal? Perhaps her actions were a desperate attempt to reclaim what she felt had been stolen from her. The faith, the legitimacy, the stability, all had been ripped away. Her reign was, in a sense, a violent reclamation. She saw herself as a righteous avenger, correcting the wrongs of her father's reign. The fires she lit were, in her mind, cleansing flames. This perspective, while horrifying, offers a different lens through which to view her. Beyond the political and religious turmoil, Mary's personal life was a landscape of profound isolation and heartbreak. Her reign, though powerful, brought her little joy. She was a queen, but a deeply lonely woman. Her marriage to Philip II of Spain was a political alliance, not a love match. He did not love her, and his affections were clearly elsewhere. This was yet another profound rejection in a life full of them. Her hopes for motherhood, for an heir to secure her Catholic legacy, were repeatedly dashed. She suffered phantom pregnancies, cruel deceptions of her own body. Each false hope was a fresh wound, a reminder of her barrenness. These phantom pregnancies were a public spectacle, a source of both hope and ridicule. The disappointment was immense, both for her and for her kingdom. It was a deeply personal and public failure. Even in death, Mary was denied the solace she craved. She had wished to be buried with her beloved mother, Catherine of Aragon. This final wish, a desire for reunion, was not granted. She was buried instead with her half-sister, Elizabeth. This was the very sister whom she had resented, the symbol of her father's betrayal. Her final resting place was a bitter irony, a perpetual reminder of her fractured family. Her life was a testament to profound loneliness. She was surrounded by courtiers, but truly known by no one. Her personal suffering was immense, overshadowed by her public image. She sought love, legitimacy, and an heir, but found only disappointment. Her reign was marked by a desperate struggle for control, both of her kingdom and of her own destiny. Yet ultimately, she was controlled by the forces that shaped her. Today, Mary I receives a striking lack of recognition. There are no grand statues erected in her honor, no widespread celebrations of her reign. She is largely forgotten by the public, save for one haunting legend. Only the chilling legend persists, whispered in darkened rooms, reflected in mirrors. The name Bloody Mary lives on, a spectral echo of a queen long dead. It is a testament to the power of fear and the simplification of history. But what if we look beyond the myth, beyond the horror story? What if we consider the woman, not the monster? Could Mary's life have unfolded differently, had circumstances been kinder? Could she have been a different queen, a different person, if she had been treated with love and compassion? What if she had known stability, acceptance, and genuine affection from her earliest days? What if she had been spared the brutal power games of her father's court? What if she had not been subjected to relentless religious persecution, both as a child and as a queen? Her actions, though undeniably horrific, were a tragic consequence. They were the result of a life defined by trauma, by betrayal, and by a world that consistently failed her. She was a product of her time and a victim of her circumstances. Perhaps the true horror of Bloody Mary is not the monster in the mirror, but the broken woman behind the legend. A woman whose pain was so profound, it erupted into a reign of terror. A queen whose story serves as a chilling reminder of how deeply trauma can scar and how profoundly it can shape a destiny.